Come with me, Izuku, and we shall change this world. We are all invested in this case. Are you? I'm with you all the way. Then let's go, Izuku Midoriya. Or should I call you Archangel? 9 years earlier, an 8-year-old boy with blonde hair and small white wings with talons, covered in grime and dirt protruding from his back, his stomach growling in pain, and his body bruised as he sits in an alleyway holding his stomach in pain. Izuku Midoriya. His father, Hayashi Midoriya, was the vice president of the Detonate Company, letting Izuku live a luxurious lifestyle for a short time. However, when Izuku was of the age of 6, he left Izuku and his mother, Inko, without another word. Inko taking Izuku to another part of the city without another word. For months, Izuku and his mother lived on the streets. Inko used her quirk to help her and Deku get food and supplies to survive off. Her quirk Dash gives her a short burst of speed that lets her move forwards at near light speed for around 1 second. Her perceiving everything as fast as she's moving when in this kind of mode. However, she can only use it a few times a day, so she wouldn't have been able to do hero work. They do this until one day Izuku waits for his mother and waits and he keeps waiting for hours, but she doesn't come. He decides to go searching for her, leaving the alleyway that they'd taken shelter and lived in for the past few months, and goes and looks for hours for his mother. He looks in buildings and other streets, unable to find her. That is until he sees something in an alleyway, him approaching until he stops, freezing up, looking down to see a woman, his mother, covered in burns, bruises, cuts and scrapes, her clothes torn and blood trickling out of her skull. Shocked and confused, Izuku runs away, tears streaming out of his eyes as he keeps running for minutes. He keeps going. He runs a solid few miles until he gets to a different alleyway and starts throwing up what little he had left in his stomach. After a few minutes, Izuku stumbles out of the shadows, looking at the people walking past, begging for them to help. The people just walking around him and avoiding the poor child. Seeing how these people just avoid him like the plague, thinking that the heroes will solve it all, Izuku turns around, back into the alley, leaning against the wall, as Izuku thinks about his mother, how she looked after him, protected him, which ended up getting her killed, and then his father and how he abandoned them, how they were left out on the streets, why his mother was murdered. His grief starts being overshadowed by his overwhelming burning rage towards his father and these people. Heroes, villains, doesn't make a difference to him, just everybody in general pisses him off. 2 years later, Izuku sits in an alleyway holding his stomach in pain. His stomach growling and his body bruised, covered in grime, dirt and blood, with multiple bodies covered in blood and gashes all over them surrounding him. That's when he hears clapping from the other end of the alley. Well done, kid. You seem strong. I'm surprised someone of your age was able to pull something like this off. What's this? 4? No, 5 bodies. What do you want from me? You want to die too? No, kid. I'm really not here to hurt you. I just know strength and potential when I see it. Izuku looking up to the person person talking to him, seeing a tall man stumbling towards him, with long white hair going down to his shoulders, grey eyes and tattered clothing. "The hell you want with me then?"
Well, first off, I wanted to give you something to eat. I don't have much myself, but I'd be happy to share.
You're a funny guy, you know that? Piss off. No one ever looks out for anyone. Only ever thinking of themselves, or better yet, thinking that a hero will sort it out. The only time anyone will ever look out for someone else is if they want something in return.
Well, you're not wrong. I do want something, but none in return. However, I just want people like us, the strong, to be able to live better lives, not trampled down here in the dirt. Or better yet, the strong should rule over the weak, not the other way around.
Alright, I'll think about it. But first, what's your name? I'm gonna trust you, I gotta at least know that.
Well, I don't really have a real name. I just go by 9.
Dumb name. Whatever.
Well, I've told you who I am, kid. You wanna return the favor?
You really are a funny guy. You should try being a comedian.
Not yet, no. I still have to make sure you're not messing with me.
Knowing he won't get anything else out of this kid, 9 just walks past the boy, walking over the bodies trying to avoid them, and gesturing for Izuku to follow him, which he does hesitantly. The walk is silent. 9 trying to bring up conversation, but Izuku ain't having it. And after about 5 minutes of walking, they arrive at a run-down, around 4 or 5 story building.
Nice digs, Izuku says, smirking.
Ignoring the comment made, 9 just walks in with Izuku following, his guard up and taloned wings ready to slice up anyone that comes near. However, to his surprise, no one comes. They then walk up a few flights of stairs as he sees 9 standing in a room at a table as he spreads multiple different fruits, vegetables and other food items across the table, giving Izuku first dibs. Izuku points at multiple different items with a deadpan look, but 9 can see the excitement in the boy's eyes as he gives Izuku the food he requested.
How do I know this ain't poisoned or something?
Taking 9 off guard for a second.
Well, first off, why would I waste poison on some brat who would die in the slums sometime soon anyway? And secondly, do I look like I have the money to buy poisons? To kill some kid, nonetheless.
Good point, as Izuku digs in. Whilst Izuku is scoffing down all the food he has, while still savouring it, which isn't too much since they need to ration, 9 just looks at him with almost pity, thinking, poor kid.
What I can see is he's been out in this life for a few years. No wonder he survived. He's got amazing survival and killer instinct. Those men didn't look like his first time killing someone.
Don't pity me. 9 snapping out of his thoughts.
Huh? If there's one thing I hate more than people, it's people pitying me.
9 just nodding at this comment as they continue to eat and kinda conversate. 5 years later, 9 has helped Izuku over this time, helping him get fed, etc., but also helping him get stronger. Not just with physical strength, but with his quirk. Him having extremely good reflexes, durability, and strength. His talons on his wings being sharper than ever, and his lethality has gone skyrocketing. Being able to kill somebody in just a few blows. One day, while they're sitting at a window, they see a villain trying to get away from the police. Him using a strange earth quirk using it to blast away the cop cars while sliding on a rock creation, kind of like what Todoroki does. As he's trying to escape, only a few heroes try to get him using his rocks to protect himself, only for the weather to suddenly get heavy and then extremely violent as thunder and lightning strike amongst the clouds. A blast of wind, almost like a tornado, slams down onto the heroes, flinging them away, allowing the villain to escape. Izuku looks to his side to see 9 there, his eyes glowing red with purple veins crawling all over his skin, only for him to start coughing with blood coming out of his mouth. Izuku rushing over and treating him immediately. Izuku has seen 9 use his quirk, however, the side effects have never been this extreme. A few weeks later, Izuku arrives at a strange building, seeing a large man guarding the door, only for him to open up the door, letting the boy inside. Izuku walks inside, seeing crowds of people in a large cage with 2 people fighting in it, with him wearing a robe to disguise himself as he walks out the back. "Ah, Izuku, good to see you so soon." Izuku turns to see a tall, skinny man who looks like he runs the place.
"Look, I'm just here for my fight, get my money and leave, that's it." "Well, get yourself ready, because this one's going to be a fight for sure."
A few minutes later, Izuku walks towards the arena, seeing a large lizard man, not Spinner, being dragged out. Blood covering his body and cuts and just broken bits all over him. While Izuku walks to the cage, he hears the announcer. "And here we have a crowd favorite who stunned us all with his precision and ruthlessness. Our little winged menace, Angel!" Izuku walking into the cage, hearing the crowd scream and cheer his name. The announcer then calling out and announcing his opponent, Habit Headgear. The man stomping in and laughing. "So you've got me fighting children now, you've got to be kidding me." As the announcer begins the fight, Headgear is only just able to flex his muscles to cover his neck before they're sliced into, surprising the villain, him trying to punch at Izuku, but it ain't working, with Izuku dodging and countering his attacks. This goes on for a little bit longer until one fatal strike, Izuku stabbing the man in the chest with one of his talons ripping it out and letting the man fall back. Izuku winning the match as he scratches a line on the wooden floor. 13 wins. As Izuku arrives home with more money in his pockets, he walks in to see there's no one there, only a note on the table. "Goodbye." Izuku, just filled with rage and anger, flips the table in frustration. Another person abandoning him. First his father, then his mother, now 9. Weeks pass as he continues the fights. They're the only thing that really keeps him going, as one day he goes out for his next fight to see a kid younger than him with yellow hair thrown into the cage, him shaking in absolute fear and terror. "Are you serious? Do you want me to kill the kid?" The announcer just shrugging and beginning the match. Izuku charges forward, ready to hit the kid away and end it quickly. Him seeing the fear in the kid's face as he's about to hit him, Izuku hesitates for a second, as the kid, in complete fear and almost instinct, puts his hands up and grabs Izuku's wing, electrocuting him and frying his wing as Izuku pulls it back. "Ah, you bastard!" Enraged as He's about to hit the boy again before the building is raided by bullies and heroes. Izuku busts out of the arena and escapes home. As he gets inside, he starts grabbing different items to try and heal his wing, but nothing is working. About half an hour later, Izuku hears a knock at the door, kind of confusing him as he cautiously goes to open it, to see a small man boasting a white coat, large moustache, and strange glasses. You must be the angel I've heard about. That's a nasty injury you've got there. If you're only here to point out the obvious, you can piss off. What if I can make you strong enough so you can never get an injury like this again? I can make you powerful. I can make you stronger than you've ever been before. Izuku raising an eyebrow to this. You see, young man, I am a quirk doctor and a specialist. However, I do have the capabilities to make you much stronger if you will allow me. A few hours later, Izuku finds himself strapped to a table, multiple needles and tubes stabbing and lodged into him. As one of the tubes starts filling up with liquid, Izuku feels a change as multiple different changes happen in his body. However, they don't react to him as well at all, causing him to seize up and shake violently, the doctor removing the liquid and chemicals immediately. This happens countless more times, with Izuku's wings turning a silver tint, almost metallic-like, his feathers sharpening and elongating into metal feathers, another pair of shorter metallic wings sprouting from his ribcage, and strange markings forming on his face, with his skin complexion turning a darker shade of blue and his eyes glowing red. Yes, my Archangel! Hours later, as Izuku kind of starts regaining consciousness, he starts to look around and starts waking up from the sound of metal clacking against each other. As he starts to gain focus in his eyes, and his eyes become less blurry, he looks around trying to move, but he sees that he can't. He looks down to see that he's got this kind of weird straps across his chest and arms and legs, stopping him from moving, as he looks to see that he's got this strange skin-tight suit on his body, and it's just stuck there. Like, he feels like he can't get it off him, even if he tries. As he tries to get out of the restraints, shaking violently, he can't. As he looks up, as he feels something looking at him, as he looks up to see that strange man that he met before standing at the edge of the table. Ah, Mr. Angel, or should I call you Archangel? Oh, your real name, Izuku Midoriya. Well, it is good to see that you've gained consciousness once again. Anyway, I do hope you enjoy your new kind of quirks and your new abilities, as I hope they are going to be able to suit you well when you help with helping my master regain control of this world. Anyway, I will leave you be to kind of sort out your problems, and I'll be back in maybe an hour or so to see how you are doing. So, tally-ho, as he walks out of the room, leaving Deku in there, the door slamming shut. Izuku, realizing that the guy's gone, starts shaking violently, starting to struggle, trying to get kind of his restraints off him, as one of his wings tear out of the restraints, kind of flinging and flexing outwards as feathers, but not actual feathers, metal feathers shoot out of his wings, stabbing into the wall beside him. As he looks over, kinda impressed, as he tries to rip his other wing out, he does so as he shoots out spikes and feathers from his other wing as well. As Izuku kind of looks, seeing that he's gotten a lot stronger apparently, he uses his wings to slightly cut the restraints before ripping them out himself, realizing he has got possibly enhanced strength. Not too strong since he wasn't able to break out of that, but stronger than a normal human being would be. As he decides that he needs to get out of here, cutting his restraints and ripping them off as he lands on the ground, gaining his balance once again. As he looks up, seeing the roof as he slams his wings into them, slicing them and cutting a hole in the roof before the roof falls down, or the little hole that the roof was in, the little cement or whatever materials that was in the roof falls down, hitting the ground as Izuku flies out, dashing out of the roof and out of the room, flying away in the distance. 4 years later, a large man stands there in a large cage, more like a caged ring of some sort. As he stands there, large spikes protruding out of his body and having large muscles and a just rather large physique in general, standing there menacingly before falling backwards, landing on his back with 4 large metal feathers stabbing into him, leaving him there unconscious and near death. As the man falls, he leaves Izuku standing there, with him standing there with a few bruises, cuts and scrapes all over him, with the strange suit that he was wearing before seemingly molded around his body like it grows with him, as it doesn't look like it's got any stretch marks on it. As he looks down, carving a line on the ground, revealing that he has 35 wins. As Izuku kind of does this, he then stumbles out of the ring, the man giving him the money, hearing the rest of the crowd cheer his name, cheering Archangel as Izuku leaves. As he walks out of the building, knowing, kind of shuffling all the money in his hand, counting all the money, making sure that it's all there, he walks out of the building as other people start staring at him. A certain group, one with a strange mutation, others with other kind of weird quirks, and one person in particular with a hood over his head and almost soulless kind of and lifeless eyes looking at him, following his movements. As Izuku leaves the building, they follow suit. Izuku knows that these people are there, but doesn't really pay it much mind. As he's walking down the street, he cuts off into an alleyway before stopping right in the middle. "Come on out. You've been following me for weeks. Just come out and show yourself." As he says this, 2 people walk out in front of him, with 2 others walking out from behind him. As one of the people in front of him seems familiar once again, as he walks out wearing a strange tattered jacket and a t-shirt, pulling down his hood, revealing white hair and grey eyes.
You bastard, what the hell are you doing back here? Izuku, listen. I'm sorry for... You don't get to say sorry. You left me. I came home as a 13-year-old kid. I came home from working my absolute ass off, and what do I get? I get a note. Not even you saying it face to face. I get a note saying goodbye. That is it. Goodbye. I don't get any insight into this. I don't get any response. Nothing. All I get is goodbye. I have no idea what this means, and I have been waiting for years. Or I was waiting for years. Until I find out, or I don't find out, I just realize that you're not coming back. And now you're here. Right now. For me to kill you. As he says this, he then flexes his wings, showing the metallic all across them, the metallic chrome across his feathers, as he spreads them out, flinging them across towards 9 before a man steps in front of him. A large man, not even considered a man, more a beast, with a blue wolf head, strange taloned claws, and a lizard tail, stands in front as the feathers stab into him, stabbing into his chest, not going too deep, but deep enough. As about 2 seconds later, he hurls over in pain, clutching his chest before falling over, paralyzed, unable to move. Seems he tanked the blow for you. It's good that you've got people here that would look out for you. Trying to, work out that stupid ideal of yours. What was it? Us strong people stick together? What bullcrap idea was that? Wasn't I strong in your eyes? Wasn't that the reason why you stuck with me, and helped me out? That's why we stuck together for years. Until you decided to leave. I don't know where you've been, I don't know the reason. But I don't need one. You didn't give me one. All you said was goodbye, so... I guess it wasn't forever, right? It was until you could amass a group so you could make me join you, or some ass idea like that. If that's true, then well, you're more deluded than I thought. Coming back, and just expecting me to join you. Sorry to say it, but it's not happening. You're gonna have to convince me more to do that. First thing is, you're gonna have to earn my trust again. Yes, Izuku, I understand. I have to earn your trust. I'm sorry for what I did. I should have explained it further. It's just, I didn't have enough time. Yeah. Of course you didn't. Of course you didn't have enough time. No, all you had to do was say goodbye and leave. When did you come back? I bet I was away for an hour. Not even that, I was away for half an hour. Half an hour I was gone, and by the time I get back, you're gone. Were you just waiting for me to leave so you wouldn't have to confront me face to face to give me some BS answer why you had to leave? So you just decided to leave? No. I see how far your words have gotten you. Whatever group you're a part of, don't count me a part of it. Whatever we had before, whatever kind of past we had, whether we were friends or simply acquaintances, I don't really care. You're nothing to me now. You get in my way again, I'll kill you. And that man in front of you, I'm not gonna call him a dog, or I'm not gonna insult him or anything. Just, I simply respect him for the fact that he's lived this long with people. I know people have ridiculed him about his looks, so I'm not gonna ridicule him about it. Being honest, I'm surprised that my feathers didn't go straight through him. I mean, in mind, I didn't shoot them as hard as I could, but that's still impressive, so... count yourself, or count me impressed, I guess. But, oh well. Anyway, I'll see you nerds later. And ever show your face in front of me again, 9, and I'll kill you. So, anyway. See you later. Good chat. As he then launches off, his wings blasting into the ground, blasting air, and a shockwave of air shooting, blasting kind of the 4 people back slightly as he flies off. So, that's the kid you were talking about, says a girl with red hair. Yes, Slice, it was, except I don't know, he's changed. I mean, from what you said, that's not surprising. From what he said, that's not surprising. You abandoned him. What do you expect the kid to do? Just greet you back with open arms? That's true, but I did have a reason. Flashback 4 years earlier as 9 is standing there in front, facing the man himself, Kyūdai Garaki, also known as Daruma Ujiko, the quirk doctor that Izuku had, I guess, met around that same time. As he's standing there, the short man with the strange glasses and quite large and kind of impressive mustache, sitting there on a kind of desk, or not in a desk but in a chair, sitting at a desk. As he sits there, 9, so what are your reasons for being a part of this, I guess, experiment? The people in this world, they need to be stronger. Or, not the people need to be stronger, but the strong need to not be trampled in the dirt. They should be the ones ruling the world, not the weak. The strong should rule over the weak. The weak should just know their place. So what I need to be stronger to enforce that rule. To make sure that the strong are on top. As he keeps explaining this to Dr. Ujiko. Ujiko thinking in his mind that this guy is completely insane. But 9 continues to explain as the doctor tells him that he should get back to him and keep doing checkups, and he might be able to help him out with that little quirk problem of his, but it shouldn't be working until a few years in the future. So he should come back to him in a few years' time and explain his case further to see if he's still eligible for this experiment. As flashback to the present day, 9 just thinks, Izuku, what has he done? What has happened to you? As Izuku flies off and arrives home, he puts away kind of all the money in a secret stash that he's kept it there, or that he's kept all his money, as he just reflects on what 9 was saying and if he should have heard him out, as he just kind of gets angry at himself, punching a wall before flying out of the building, flying at high speeds before arriving at a park. A small park with a small kind of pond, with him flying down and landing near a seat. As he goes down and sits at it, he just ponders, thinking, should he have heard 9 out? Should he have actually let him speak and not yelled at him before flying away? Should he have actually heard him out and asked why he left and not just cut him off? It's too late for that now, but man, he should have at least heard him out, right? As he's saying this, a man sits down beside him
as he looks to his side, seeing white hair. As the man looks down, his grey eyes meeting with Izuku's. Far out, do you stalk me everywhere I go? What the hell? As Izuku looks up, he sees Nine sitting there next to him, looking down at him. No, well, yes, been following you for a few weeks now, and I know that if you're gonna be thinking about something, you would have come here, so I know you well enough that you would have probably, I guess, not regretted, but thought about the fact that you probably should have heard me out at least, but I don't know, I don't have any right to judge you for that. So, I came here and wanted to simply and peacefully explain my situation, not trapping you in an alleyway with 4 other people. Yeah, that was probably not the greatest move in yours. I did feel, well, I didn't feel threatened, but I feel that you were trying to threaten me at least. No, that wasn't the case. I just didn't really want you to leave. Kinda didn't think about the fact that you had a flying quirk. But oh well. I did also want to give you that opportunity to leave if you wanted to as well, but oh well. I guess now's my time to explain to you now. Yeah, well, I'm here now. I'm not really gonna leave. I'm a bit more calmed down because I did just come back from a fight when you approached me, so I wasn't probably in the best mind space. But yeah, anyway, so I've got a few questions. Pretty much just one. Why did you leave? And why come back now? Why not come back straight after? Well, to answer your first question, why did I leave? A strange doctor, a strange man, I think he said he was a quirk doctor or something like that. Anyway, this weird guy, he said that he was giving up the opportunity to give power. And since you know the drawbacks of my quirk, I decided, well, might as well, if he can at least fix that, would be one step closer to our goal. I mean, it was our goal, 9. I'm not sure if it is our goal now, since you left. But anyway, sorry, I'll let you continue. Yes, thank you. So what happened was pretty much he explained all this to me, and he kept telling me to come back in every few weeks. But he lived in a completely different city, so I had to stay around his area. And so I couldn't come back. The only reason why I couldn't write more is because I was on a time crunch. He pretty much had me out in a van, and pretty much as soon as I kind of arrived home and explained that I kind of wanted to be a part of this, I got home and was knocked out, pretty much. So as soon as I wrote out all I could write was goodbye before I was knocked out. And yeah, pretty much he took me back to his place, and back to his kind of center, medical center, or whatever you want to call it, crazy lab. And he kept explaining these things to me, and finally explained to me that he had to do all this, and I had to wait a few years. Anyway, as soon as I had the opportunity to come back, it'd been months already, so when I came back, I saw you. You were in a completely different mindset. You had different powers. You had these wings now. You had a strange suit on you. And most importantly, you're blue, so that's that as well. But yeah, anyway, yeah, so that's another thing I do want to ask you about that as well, but I'll finish my thing first. And the reason why I didn't come back is I didn't know how to approach you after all these months. And yeah, so
reason I approached you now is because the doctor has told me that I have now got the possibility to get that power. If I go in now, I have to accept this power, but I don't want to do this without you. I've already gained these other 4 people's abilities, no, not their abilities, but their trust. They trust me, and they believe in this cause, Izuku. So, now that I've kind of explained my thing, firstly, what happened to you? Like, why are your wings now metal? Why do you have red eyes? And why are you blue? Huh. Well, funny thing, that same doctor you're talking about, I'm assuming it's the same doctor. It's some strange whack-ass glasses and a quite impressive mustache. Yeah, that is the same guy that was talking to me. Yeah, well, anyway, so he gave me the opportunity to get stronger. Pretty much my wing got fried. They threw in at the fighting area. They threw in some random kid. They threw him in and he had an electric quirk. And so I hesitated since I didn't really want to kill a kid. And that costed me. He grabbed onto my wing and fried it. It stopped my ability to fly, and in layman's terms, I was stuffed. I was useless at that point. So he took me at my weakest point and told me I could get stronger, and being the vulnerable me I was, nearly drinking myself to death, even though I was 13, I was on the verge of doing it. Since you left some bottles here. And yeah, he got me there, and he told me he could fix me, so I took the opportunity, and now I've got blue skin, red eyes, wings, and a suit that won't leave my body. The best thing about the suit is that 1, it's pretty much bulletproof, so it won't break. 2, it's extremely elastic, so it's hard to cut as well. And yeah, my wings are very strong, as you can see as well. So that's that. But yeah, so that's pretty much that. But yeah, and he named me Archangel or something, so that's kind of just stuck. That's now my arena name. And yeah. Anyway, that's that. Anyway, yeah, so that's my backstory, I guess. And yeah, so the question is, should I trust you? Like, you've been away all this time. Well, you have gotten stronger, obviously, but do you still believe in our cause? That the strong should rule over the weak. The strong are strong, and yet we're being trampled down. I mean, you're here, you're in underground fight clubs. How much are you getting paid per fight? Fighting to the death. What, like $50? Yeah, I was paid 45 just before. Exactly. And how many fights do you get? You're getting like 1 a week or something like that. So per month you're only getting $200 at most. So yeah, like, that's not enough. We need to make sure the strong rises over the weak. The strong, us as the strong, we need to show the people that we are not where we're supposed to be. We should rule over these people. We should show them that they're not as strong as they think they are. We need to show them that we are stronger. Are you with me, Izuku? I guess, kind of. Yeah? I don't know. I don't know. Izuku. Come with me, Izuku. and we will change this world. We are all invested in this cause. Are you? Damn, hell with it. I'm with you all the way. As Nine sits there, a smile across his face. Then let's go, Izuku Midoriya. Or should I call you Archangel?
Months later, Izuku, going by the alias of Archangel, flies high in the sky, looking down to a hillside road with a truck being chased down by heroes down below. In front of the truck, Endeavor stands tall, his flames burning bright as the truck, starts barreling towards him. As it starts rushing towards him, he steps back, using his signature move, Prominence Burn, sending a large torrent of fire towards the truck. A person comes out of the top of the truck, this being the villain Darby from the League of Villains, then sends out his own flames towards the pro hero, causing a brief power struggle until Endeavor's flames completely overpowers the villain, hitting the truck and sending it flying off the cliff into the jungle below. As the heroes inspect the fallen truck, Deku flies further up the mountain range, landing down to meet a few people. No one followed. It was a successful getaway. Now we just have to wait for him to arrive.
You don't have to wait any longer, Ark.
Deku turning around to see a man walking up the hill, wearing a sort of black armor-like suit and mask covering his nose and mouth, with purple vein-like things all over it, and his white hair tied up and waving slightly in the wind.
You sure took your time meeting back up with us, Nine,
a tall beast man with a wolf head remarks.
It was well worth the wait. The experiment was a success,
Nine replies, his eyes shining a bright yellow color. Weeks pass, with through this time, Nine stealing multiple pro heroes' quirks, these quirks being such things as a sort of air shield that he can put up to protect himself, lasers that come out of his fingernails, and dragon-like Shikigami sort of things that come out of his back and attack, or he can use them however he'd like. That is until we arrive to a certain scene. A man in his truck, while talking to his two kids, suddenly hears something above him when the roof is torn off his car and he is flung out of the truck onto the road. He looks up to see a man in a black suit with white hair walking towards him before hearing a noise behind him, where he turns to see another guy, a bit younger with long metal wings, blue skin and white hair perched on the hood of his truck, before then looking back to the other man.
Don't worry, I won't kill you. I just want your quirk.
Nine then grabbing the man by the face and rips the quirk from his body, adding it to his arsenal.
This is it, my friends. The start of a new era. A new beginning.
Nine calling this out with dark clouds covering the sky. Lightning bolts slamming to the ground and leveling buildings and causing mayhem across multiple city blocks. While doing this, he uses the quirk he just gained, which is a form of cell activation. As he uses it, the group prepares to cheer, looking around with sort of indifference, however having this tight feeling in his chest, making him truly wonder if this is what he wants. As he looks around at the carnage that is, surrounding him, the others prepare to celebrate. However, before they can, Nine falls over. Purple veins growing across his face and his body as he clutches his chest in pain. Slice running up to help him.
No. Damn! It doesn't work on Pipe B blood.
Wait, just a second. Before we all get down, before we get all down about this, look at this. Them all looking at Mummy, who pulls out a phone, showing 2 kids on the screen.
Yes, that's right. Because quirks are hereditary.
Over at Naboo Island, a few days pass as everyone is enjoying the day. It's the people on the beach and wharf see a strange cruise ship barreling towards the island. Everyone dodges out of the way as it smashes into the port and capsizes on the island. Whilst everyone is in disarray, Nine's group stands atop the capsized ship, with Slice destroying the docks and the ships and everything around there to prevent any escape. Chimera is sent out to the communication center to, disable communications. Mummy is sent to cause a commotion in the town square, while Nine is looking for the boy called Katsuma, and Deku being overall aerial support in case anybody, for some reason, needs help. As Deku's flying over the island, he sees multiple hero students, only a few years younger than him, fighting Chimera at the beach. As he flies a bit further, he then sees others fighting against Mummy, before he then sees a gigantic explosion with Mummy flying out of it, unconscious. He then sees a boy blast off with what looks like explosions and keeps flying, which he thinks is quite strange. He then begins circling around the area, looking down at the defeated villain.
Look! Up there!
Calls out a boy with very shiny armor.
No. Oh no, not another one. Oh no, not another one.
Another boy calls out another boy with red hair. He then starts to descend towards Mummy, preparing to pick him up.
Oh no, you don't!
A boy with yellow hair calls out, shooting a bolt of electricity towards Deku, shocking him and, paralyzing him for a small second, before then blasting upwards out of the boy's reach, still feeling the electricity here through his muscles and shocking his nerves.
Damn. I'm sorry, Mummy, I can't get you. I guess you'll have to hold on.
He then looks down at the kid that shocked him, thinking that he looked kind of familiar, as he then blasts off towards Nine's location, arriving there in a few seconds to see the explosion boy blast at Nine with his quirk, using explosions, but it doesn't work. He then sees a flash of blue lightning across the field as a young girl with blonde hair and blue eyes and sparks of blue lightning covering her body smashes a kick towards Nine, putting up a shield to block her attack before pushing her off with a wind attack. Bakugo's about to attack Nine when he gets stabbed in the leg by a large metal object. Him looking down to see it kind of looks like a feather, which he thinks is a bit weird, as he prepares to attack again when his vision becomes blurry. His muscles freeze up and causing him to fall flat on his face, him being unable to move.
Please, stay down.
Deku whispers while looking down at him kinda sadly. Bakugo! The girl shouts as she sparks with lightning, erupting with power, but she dashes towards Nine at blinding speeds. Hearing rumbling above him, Deku looks up, seeing dark clouds above him. As he looks down to the group below, as lightning slams onto the 2 aspiring heroes, shocking them and injuring them greatly. Deku then flies down towards 9 before his wing gets blasted by a stray kind of bolt of lightning, sending him hurling to the ground and, well, shocking him. He definitely wasn't really expecting it. As he starts stumbling back to his feet, he starts hobbling towards 9. Seeing him hurl over in pain, realizing what's happening, Deku shoots off towards Katsuma, preparing to grab him before getting hit by a flock of birds, forcing him to the ground. As the birds clear, everyone is gone, leaving Deku, 9, and the arriving Slice there in the field. Slice pulls out a flare gun, shooting it to the sky to call over the other members, that being just Chimera, since Mummy is out of commission and was taken down by the hero students. A few hours pass as the 4 are held up in a small house on the mountain.
Where's Mummy? Don't tell me they got him,
Chimera asks. Unfortunately, yes. The explosion kid took him out, and there's a kid with an electricity quirk that stopped me from getting to him. It doesn't matter. The plan will still go on. 9 needs that kid's quirk. Slice replies, looking down at, well, her injured leader. I'm going out for a bit. I need to get some fresh air, Deku says, closing the door behind him as, well, leaving the other 2 inside with 9. As he gets outside, he flies into the sky, thinking about multiple different things, wondering where he's seen that electrical kid before, and wondering if this is the right course of action. He's not sure. Reflecting back, he thinks about the events that led to this point. His parents dying and leaving him on the streets. His fighting days meeting 9, injuring his wing.
That kid, he's the bastard that fried my wing,
he remarks. Getting quite angry for a second, but as he thinks about it more and more, he realizes it wasn't really the kid's fault. He was forced into that situation. He looked terrified when he fought him.
But why am I even doing this? I've no reason apart from owing it to 9, and as long as none of the kids die, it shouldn't be too bad. What am I doing? Why am I thinking of this? We're changing the world for the better, so people like us aren't trampled on anymore. We will win, and 9 will be the king of this new world, in this new era.
The next morning, Deku flies back, hovering above 9 and the others. They're held up at the castle ruins on the smaller island, he explains.
So I guess they want a siege,
Chimera comments. Then let's go, 9 commands. A few minutes later, the 4 are walking on the ground before they are unexpectedly blasted by a giant laser, causing Deku to take flight as he looks forward to see 2 students on a ledge. As the other one reveals 2 massive cannons, blasting the terrain around him and causing him to go higher. As he looks around, he sees Slice and Chimera are gone.
So, the plan was to split us up. Not bad.
He looks forward to then see rocks flying towards him, causing him to dodge and maneuver around him. Before he can even catch a break, however, more and more come, as he's hit by more and more different rocks, just small pebbles, until he's hit by bigger and bigger rocks, causing him to go to the ground. However, this was what the hero students wanted, as he's hit by multiple straps of tapes and rocks, burying him under it and causing him to be immobile. Minutes pass with Izuku slicing and clawing at the rocks. He then hears a large explosion, a giant explosion, when he finally gets out to see the sky covered by dark clouds and explosions further up the hill. Flicking the rest of the rubble off of him, he flies up towards where the main battle is taking place. While he's flying over, he looks down, seeing the battered and hurt and defeated students on the ground, hurt and just unable to move, bleeding and broken. Seeing this, he gets a really tight feeling in his chest once again. Tears even starting to fill his eyes. He cranks up the speed, going faster and faster, seeing explosions before two large blue-like, dragon-like things slam into a wall. Izuku finally arrives at the field, seeing a large explosion, throwing the rest of the hero students away and leaving 9 with the 2 kids. As 9 approaches, Mahiro runs in front of him, telling him to stay back and leave her brother alone. Before she knows it, however, 9 grabs her by the neck, choking the life out of her and threatening Katsuma to come over or his sister will die. 9 then looks to his side, he kind of holding his arm in pain, kind of screaming as he sees his left arm is missing. Well, no, it's not missing. It's on the ground covered in blood. And Mahiro is on the ground, well, close to it, backing away in fear. He then looks further ahead, seeing a metal shard resembling a feather with blood on it, sticking out of the ground. Clutching his arm in pain, he looks behind him, seeing Deku hovering above him with a stern face.
What are you doing, Archangel?
This is far enough. I said I would help you change society so kids like me wouldn't live on the street and see their parents' corpses in the alleyways. I didn't join you so you could murder kids in front of my eyes.
I gave you everything you have, boy. I gave you a roof to sleep under, a way to survive that life, and this is the thanks I get. Oh, of this case, you can die alongside them.
9 screams, raising his remaining arm outstretched towards Deku as he shoots lasers from his fingers. Deku dodges to the side, shooting, side to side, dodging the different lasers that are hurling towards him, then shooting his own feathers towards 9, who dodges most of them and blocks a lot more of them, but gets stabbed once in the leg and once in the gut, and, well, his foot is then sliced completely off, leaving just a stub. Seeing this, Deku gets a slight grin on his face before he is then shot straight through the side with a laser slicing straight through him before he then hears someone scream out, "Damn you!" Suddenly, lightning slams down straight onto Deku, shocking him and just frying him from the inside out. Well, not the inside out, on the inside and out. Sending him flying to the ground, near dead. As this happens, 9 tries turning but feels his muscles seizing, freezing up as the neurotoxin kicks in, him being paralyzed from his muscles being paralyzed from the neurotoxin inside the feathers. And before he knows it, he's kicked in the head and blasted away by an explosion.
You good, Shield?
Bakugo asks, turning to Melissa Shield, as her body is covered in lightning.
Yeah, let's go.
Them dashing to him. away. Burns and cuts and just bruises all over him. Nine asks for Shigaraki's help, asking him that, he isn't finished, that this world will be under his rule soon enough. When Shigaraki walks up to him, placing all 5 fingers on Nine's face, disintegrating Nine away completely to nothing. Hours pass as Izuku is taken away on a stretcher, cuffed but still unconscious, where he's taken away to firstly get healed and get healed and treated for the fact that he was fried both inside and out from a lightning flippin' strike. But it's also taken to Tartarus prison, where he shall stay for the foreseeable future. He did slightly redeem himself by aiding in the defeat of Nine, however, he is also an accomplice in the retirement of multiple heroes and the deaths of many from Nine's hands. Maybe later revitalization could occur, but for now, that is the end of What If Deku was Archangel. And that is the end of it. That is the end of What If Deku was the Archangel, whatever you want to call it. Pretty much, what if Deku was the Archangel, whatever you want to call it. Pretty much, what if he had metal wings? That's pretty much the series. So that's the end of it. I hope you guys did enjoy this part, and I hope you guys did enjoy the series, really. But yeah, I do hope you guys enjoyed the series, because it was quite fun to make. I'm sorry that this didn't come out a lot earlier. I just didn't know how to continue the series, but I got it out now. So yeah, that's that. But anyway, so I hope you guys did enjoy this part. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, all of that jazz. You know how it goes. Hit the notification bell if you want. Leave a comment for any reason. If you want to talk, I'm happy to talk. If you want to give advice or something, or suggest a what if or anything like that, that too. Pretty much comment anything. That's pretty cool. If you do comment something negative, then I'll probably just find it extremely funny. So yeah, anyway, that's pretty much that. I don't really know what else to say, so yeah, that's the end of it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Just remember, God is awesome, you guys are too, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.